It's now the top of the hour, and you're watching East Tennessee Weather, powered by Rusty Wallace Automotive Group.
And good morning. 7 o'clock this morning. We're kind of back. We're back, baby. Well, sort of. I have a little bit of energy this morning, but I'm sure I'll probably lose that real quick. Come about 7:30, I'll be like, ugh, where's that bed? Hey, thanks so much for all the prayers, all the messages on social media. I really, really, really do appreciate every single one of you. I was down for the count, man. That thing hit me like a ton of bricks on what day is it? Wednesday, on Monday night, about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and going, oh no, what is going on? This is not good. Woke up that morning like I normally do every day, and I was like, oh, this is not good. Went to the doctor, got a prescription, got an antibiotic. Nothing. I tested negative for everything. So they were thinking maybe just major sinus infection that just took my body down. A buddy of mine said, yep, that's what stress does. Overworking yourself sometimes will knock you down too. So either way you look at it, we're back this morning with Wake Up with Witcher. So glad you could join us this morning. We do have a lot to talk about here this morning because, well, we do have the rain showers that are going to affect your morning commute. We do have an accident on Alcoa Highway that we'll get to work with here in a minute. But we're also talking about the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms. So first things first, let's go and talk about that accident on Alcoa Highway because it is slowing traffic way down. So everybody else seems to be doing just fine, but when you look at the TDOT cameras, this will be on the northbound lane coming out of the Alcoa Maryville area. So this is what it looks like. That's at Alcoa Highway and Pellissippi Parkway, and it is gridlock, my friends. So if you are trying to come north on Alcoa Highway out of Alcoa or Maryville this morning, you are going to be stuck in a hot mess, and this stretches all the way up past Topside Road. So there's Hillside. You can see the activity there, so it's slowing traffic down on the southbound lanes as well, but it's mostly the northbound lanes that are all gridlocked up. Once you get past that, though, you can see how traffic's going to be running smoothly. So, again, right there at Pellissippi Parkway and Alcoa Highway is where we have the biggest gridlock here this morning. Not quite sure what's going on here. It doesn't say necessarily. It says multi-vehicle crash at Hillside Road, reported at 5:33 this morning. That would have been Central Time Zone, not quite sure. So 6:33 Central Eastern Time Zone. On the northbound left lane, 2 lanes are blocked here at this hour. So, all right, let's get to work with the forecast here for the day today. We do have the light rain showers hanging out with us here this morning. So some steadier showers, good pitter-patter on top of the rooftops here this morning. And that's really going to be the story here for the next several hours. But then this rain starts to wind down, and it actually is going to turn out to be a rather pleasant day around East Tennessee. Outside right now, live look in downtown Gatlinburg. We do have some wet roads. The rain is falling in downtown Gatlinburg here at this hour. We also have some soggy conditions showing up in Hardin Valley here at this hour as well. Current temperatures, though, not bad. We're in the mid-50s. Back to the satellite and radar, and you can really see over the last 3 hours how this moisture has been pushing its way on in. Had some pretty good downpours showing up in Ray and Meigs County, McMinn. Still have some pretty good, steadier rain down in Bradley County, working its way to the north and northeast. And that's really going to be the story here through the morning hours, okay? But then again, as we get through the afternoon, we'll start to see improving conditions. Visibility-wise, no major visibility issues. It's really just going to be the low gray clouds and rain. Maybe some lower visibility over towards Rockwood Mountain, up towards Petros and Wartburg, Oliver Springs area. Temperatures, generally speaking, about where we were yesterday. Some are a little bit warmer, some are a little bit cooler. But when you look at the numbers, we're still trending above average. So that you can't go wrong with that. We're currently in the mid to upper 50s. Even Chattanooga showing up at 61 degrees. Now, here's a big trough of the jet stream off to our west, across parts of the panhandle of Texas, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. That trough has been a very slow-moving trough. If you've checked it on the forecast over the last couple of days, I've been talking about how this is a slow mover, but it's going to pack a punch. Actually, the Storm Prediction Center has issued all the way through a level 4 risk for severe storms around our region, from the Gulf of Mexico with the level 1, a level 3 and a level 4 risk. The level 4 is the red area. That's the bullseye. That's where we're expecting tornadoes to break out for sure. The orange area is a level 3. That's an enhanced risk by the Storm Prediction Center. Likely to see some tornadic activity there. Then we get into a level 2 and level 1 and 2, I should say, the green and the yellow. The yellow is a level 2. We are currently under a level 1 risk for severe storms today. And then tomorrow, also a level 1. But this runs for 24 hours, okay? So this runs from 7 o'clock this morning through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then 7 o'clock tomorrow morning through 7 o'clock Friday morning. Okay, so that just takes you over a 24-hour window. So you got to look at the timing of everything and see how everything plays out. This is what it looks like on the big picture, okay? Strong low-pressure system, big trough digging across the Great Plains, helping to provide a lot of lift. That's going to provide a lot of wind as well, where we do have a high wind warning for the mountains of East Tennessee. But you can really see how the storm's just going to wind up and work its way to the north and northeast. And as it does so, that's what's going to bring us the torrential downpours. Damaging wind's going to be the main threat, okay? But I had a couple of messages on social media yesterday saying, what about tornadoes? Well, anytime you get a strong low-pressure system to move near East Tennessee, that is going to provide spin in the atmosphere. So there's always a tornado possibility with severe weather, okay? But when we hone in on what possibilities of severe weather we could see, looks like this one's just going to bring us damaging winds and large hail with the possibility of an isolated tornado, but not too likely. So, but we'll see how it all plays out. And again, the problem with that, though, is going to be the timing. So let's talk temperatures for just a moment. If you need to hit the road, here's your temperatures for the day today. Lunchtime temps will be in the mid-60s. Afternoon highs, we're talking mid-70s. So again, this morning rain, as long as it doesn't eat up all of our potential heating for the day, which is what it did the other day on Monday with the eclipse, I thought we were going to be a little bit warmer, but we just couldn't warm up because the rain and the clouds just stuck with us. I apologize for clearing my throat. Temperatures this afternoon will be in the low to mid and maybe a few pockets of upper 70s, which is going to make for a nice evening if you have evening plans, maybe a nice night to do some grilling. We're at 75 by 6 and 67 degrees by 10 o'clock here tonight. All right, so let's pick up our timeline here this morning on our Futurecast. We've got the morning rain showers hanging out with us. They're likely to be off and on, scattered in nature all the way through about the lunch hour. But anytime after the lunch hour, I think we'll start to see improving conditions. We'll go partly to mostly cloudy. We'll have some splash of sunshine, some splashes of sunshine. We'll have a few splashes of sunshine throughout the day today, and that should help to warm us up. Again, the goal is going to be on the warmer side. As we get into the evening rush hour, kids will be fine, by the way, as they head home from school. Evening rush hour by 6, 7 o'clock tonight, we will start to see the rain showers start to spread back in. And this is where the main event's going to be taking place, okay? So make sure you have a way to receive notifications here as you head off to bed tonight. Make sure you download the East Tennessee Weather app. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment. And just stay on top of the weather situation as you head off to bed, because this is when the main event comes on through. So here's what it looks like. We do have that level 1 risk for severe storms from this morning through tomorrow morning. That does encompass most of East Tennessee, and again, damaging winds being the main threat. So 7 o'clock here tonight through the overnight hours, you can really see how this is going to blast its way on through. Very heavy rainfall, strong to severe thunderstorms, probably closer to 10 to midnight tonight, and then likely just to see and experience heavier rain through sunrise, making for a rather soggy and slow-going morning commute. And then again, we have that risk for strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow morning through Friday morning, but the likelihood of that is likely up through about 7 o'clock in the morning. This picks up at 7 o'clock in the morning Thursday, runs through 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So we're definitely going to keep you posted on that. And we'll talk about the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a moment. We do want to take a quick break, though, and highlight this morning's Facebook Wake Up with Witcher live sponsor. It's Volunteer Home Mortgage. They are locally owned and operated mortgage broker company serving all of East Tennessee. But they actually don't stop there. If you're looking at investment properties or possibly moving, they actually serve Georgia and Florida. A huge population of East Tennessee travels to Georgia and Florida, especially the coastal areas. And if you're maybe looking for a beach house, give Jerry and her team a call today at 865-238-7500 or visit them online at volunteerhomemortgage.com. They've got a slew of mortgages to be able to choose from, and they offer free consultations. Plus, their loan officers are available 24 hours a day. I should take that back. They're available 7 days a week. So give my friends Jerry and her team a call today at 865-238-7500 or visit them online at volunteerhomemortgage.com. All right, back to the forecast. On Thursday morning, we're going to see those rain showers to start the day, so likely to have some heavier rain early tomorrow morning. And then we're going to see a strong southerly flow. So we're staying on the warmer side Thursday, but the trough has not moved in yet. The trough moves overhead on into our Friday. So what does that bring? That brings cooler temperatures. And you'll notice those temperatures fall as we get into our Friday. We'll have some scattered showers as the actual cold front comes through late in the day on Thursday. Then the trough swings its way through. You can see how the winds are on the far left-hand side of your screen. You can see how the winds are going to start to shift. While we'll have a southwesterly wind out ahead of the trough, we're going to see the trough swing through, and that will shift our winds to the northwest, and that's what's going to help to drop our temperatures. All right, as mentioned, we do have a lot of heavy rain, so the possibility of localized flooding or flash flooding does exist because this is going to happen in a short window of time for the most part. Upper East Tennessee, you'll be fine. But it's across the Central Valley, along Interstate 40 south down the I-75 corridor. We're talking Sweetwater, Athens, Cleveland, Chattanooga, Whitwell, Dunlap, Pikeville, maybe even Cumberland or Roane County. Folks joining us from, say, the Rockwood area. But the Weather Prediction Center has issued a level 1 and a level 2 risk for possible flash flood risk, okay? So the level 2 risk is where we're likely to pick up upwards of about 3 inches of rainfall. Temperature-wise, as the trough swings in overhead, that's going to drop our temperatures on into our Friday down into the mid-60s, so slightly below average, not that big of a deal. We'll be in the low 70s on Saturday, and then how about your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Is this going to be nice? Can I get an applause for that? There we go. We need an applause for some 80s. I mean, the solar eclipse was a bummer, wasn't it? Let's go say hi to everybody anyways. Well, let's go back. Let's just finish this here real quick. Okay, let's talk low temperatures. Is there any threat for freezing temperatures? No, there's not. Can I get another applause for that? Yay! Okay, see, I'm going to spend all my energy. So let's highlight that weekend forecast specifically. 72 Saturday, 80 degrees on Sunday. I mean, my friends, this is going to be an amazing weekend for sure. All right, let's go say hi to everyone, see how everyone is doing this morning. I posted on social, but let's go back to the eclipse for a second since we took Tuesday off. But again, thanks for your patience. The eclipse on Monday, that was kind of a bummer. Some of you saw it, some of you did not. The folks that did see it, we saw a couple breaks. I was trying to guide folks who were going to be chasing the sunshine, that we saw a little bit more sunshine down across the Southern Valley. But, what a bummer too, because after the eclipse, like the sun came out. It was gorgeous, like during the afternoon. Could the eclipse just postponed just a few hours? That would have been nice. And then yesterday was just kind of a good rainy day. Good day for me to sleep. I will tell you, I slept 9 hours last night, 9 hours the night before, and I slept most of the day yesterday. So I've slept for like 24 hours in the last 48 hours. Sometimes your body just is like, stop it. You're sick. Go take a nap. Go sleep. Oh, man. All right. Working at the course today, but yeah, it's going to be pretty soggy. It's going to be really soggy tomorrow, Lee. Any of the golf courses. Thank you, Jaylene. I appreciate it. She says, good morning, Mike. I hope you're feeling better. Slowly but surely, day at a time, my friends, right? Day at a time. I haven't been this sick in a long, long time where it just knocks you down. You're like, I just feel awful. It's the worst feeling in the world. Thanks, Chris. Chris says, welcome back, Mike, from the levels of doom and despair. Man, the funny thing is typically when you're sick like that, you just sit there and binge watch movies all day. I only watched one movie. I didn't do anything. I slept. I watched one movie yesterday. I finally got out of bed. I was like, okay, I got to get out of bed. I got to get something to eat. It was like noon after I did the morning stuff for East Tennessee weather. Went and got a little bit of food, sat in a chair, watched a movie, and I was like, I'm going back to bed. This is no fun. It's no fun to feel that crummy. Oh, thank you, Katrina. She says, take it slow. I know these are always the worst, isn't it? Because it's like you get this little boost of energy, and you're like, okay, cool, I feel better. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, you're like, blah. Never mind. That's the medicine kicking in. So we'll take it slow, but thanks for the advice, Katrina. Thank you, Laura. Laura says, you rock, Mike. Thanks, Laura. I appreciate that. I don't know what I rock for. I rock like a hurricane sometimes. I'm just kidding. You may lose me after a while. No, thanks, Melinda. She says, you sound a little bit better. So sorry you're under the weather. I think it was just since I tested negative for flu and COVID and strep and all those things. I'm just thinking it was a major sinus infection that had not really excelled, but it just knocked my body down. That's what I'm thinking happened. Because I've been suffering from these allergies, for about a couple weeks now. My son had his allergy infection, so probably what it was. But, dude, allergies, no allergy infection, sinus infection, no bueno. No bueno, right, Jorge? Jorge's on here. Laura says, sinus infection hit her last night, headed to the doctor today. Well, I did get on some antibiotics, so that is helping. But I'm on my 4th pill this morning. I got to eat first, so I haven't eaten yet. So I'll eat after this and then take my 4th pill. So, yeah, go get on some medication if you can, Laura, because it knocks you down, doesn't it, my friend? Ooh. Thank you, Kat. She says, glad you're on the mend as well. We've got Temple on here. Temple, I don't think I've ever seen you on the chat. If I have, it's been a while. Welcome to Wake Up with a Witcher. She says, good morning, Mike Witcher. Lee's wife is having her gallbladder taken out today. Oh, well wishes to your wife, Lee. Oh, man, I hope her recovery is smooth sailing. So I believe it's my mother-in-law went years and years and years with an undiagnosed gallbladder problem. I believe it was her gallbladder because she felt really sick every time she ate. She couldn't eat a lot. And after like 40 years, she finally got it taken out. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Why was this like not diagnosed years ago? But I hope she feels better. And I hope she has a speedy recovery for Shirley. Pat says, prayers to all those involved in the wreck this morning. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Thank you, Tina. She says, hope everyone has a great day today. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit better. So we've got Betty Cunningham joining us from Tazewell. She says, good morning to everyone. Good morning, Betty. Portia says, good morning, my main weatherman. Hope you get better soon. Have a great day. Good morning to you, Portia. I hope you have a great day as well. Know that the rain's not going to be with us all day, so that's good. Katrina's on vacation next week, so she likes what next week's looking like. It's going to start nice, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Should be great. I was going to ask you a question. You know, I have the capability anyways. You know, I can go through all my weather maps and highlight what I can build through my weather computer stuff. But sometimes there are a lot of weather nuts out there. Or is there any interest at all for me to show you like model data, big pictures, what I look at on a daily basis to forecast the weather? Is that of an interest to anybody at all? If it is, let me know. Maybe we can try to incorporate that into the program in the morning and be like, okay, let's talk about it. Because I think it would be. I was thinking about it yesterday. And I was thinking about how, you know, I can do all this to a certain extent with my weather computer, but if I can just pull up a URL, the internet, and be able to draw on there and highlight troughs and why things play out the way they play out, trough axes, where we get the influx of moisture, how the air flows if you have a powerful jet stream, the left front, the right rear jet stream, jet streaks, what does that mean? If that's any interest in you, maybe we'll tag that on or tie that on to the end of Wake Up with Witcher. And folks that want to stick around, you can stick around and we can geek out together about what I'm looking at. And I don't know. I was just thinking about it yesterday. Sometimes when you teach too, it helps you, like, not that I don't know it, but it helps you remember things. It helps you learn things, helps you refresh your mind of things. Now, I look at this data every day, but like when you teach people, I think it just really hits home about not hits home, but it just helps you remember. I don't know. It just helps explain things. So I don't know. Maybe just let me know if that's something that if that's something you'd be interested in. We got Millie Tipton and Claudia Belcher on here. Good morning, Claudia. She's joining us from Von Nor. She says, "Have a great day from Von Nor." Looks like a great day to get the mower ready for the season. Tom, have you not mowed your yard yet? Tell me you've mowed your yard. If I hadn't mowed my yard yet, well, we have our neighborhood kid who's I think he's a junior or senior in high school. I think he's a junior in high school. We have him mow our yard, and the reason why, 2 reasons. A, I want to help support small kids' businesses. I had a lawn mowing business for 3 or 4 years, and we handed out pamphlets, and we started off just locally, like close houses in the neighborhood where we could push our lawnmowers. And then when I turned 16, I got in trouble for this, but we used to tow them behind the car. I had my friend sit in the trunk of my car, and we'd tow both mowers so we could expand our our lawn mowing business. And then we got in trouble because the police pulled us over in the neighborhood and said, "You guys can't do this." I'm like, "Well," he goes, "You're going to have to buy a trailer. If you want to do this right and you're starting a business, you have to buy a trailer." So we bought a trailer. Then we had to borrow my dad's car, my truck, because I didn't have a trailer hitch in my car. Anyways, long story short, we made a killing. That's how I paid for my ski passes every year, new ski equipment every year. That's how I paid for most of my things, because my parents bought things for us, but if we wanted anything above and beyond what they ever wanted to purchase for us, i.e., I went to a Ritchie high school, We weren't rich, but I was in the community of one. So all my friends were wearing polo. They were all driving new cars. And so to fit in, I saved up a lot of my money so I could buy polo shirts. Because if you didn't have the polo logo on your shirt, well, you weren't that cool, I guess. Kids are funny, aren't they? And we're funny what we do to try to fit in a little bit more, isn't it funny? Anyways, so I try to support him. Plus, my house sits on almost an acre of land, and so to mow it takes almost 2 hours. Well, over 2 hours to mow, trim, and blow. And so, yeah. Do we think we'll have any tornadoes? I can't rule those out, Sierra. Okay. Anytime we have a strong low pressure system and a cold front move on through, I can't rule out the threat for isolated tornadoes, but it doesn't look too terribly conducive. I think the best timing, if we were to get any spin ups at all, it would be between 10 and midnight tonight. Looks to be the best timing of that, or the greatest. I don't like to use the word opportunity. Opportunity's got a positive affirmation to it. We don't want that, right? But greatest chance for seeing tornadoes probably between after 9 o'clock here tonight through about midnight, and then I think it wanes. These are the kind of things that I'd like to show you, that I would be able to show you on a broad. You know what? Here, let's just see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. I'll show you some stuff. See if we can work this out. Maybe. I might not be able to, but we'll see if this shows. Okay, does this show up on? Maybe it won't. It does show up. Okay. So it's going to be hard to see because I'm not going to make it big right off the top. But this is what I look at. This is College of DuPage, numerical weather prediction data from NCEP and CMC and the Euro. Okay, so this is, this is how I go through. I look at forecast data, right? You can see that on the screen, right? Yeah. So I go look through forecast data and when the best timing of energy is coming through. But you asked about tornadoes, so I'm going to show you some stuff. Here's a significant tornado parameter that is a model data product. And you can see in the bottom left-hand side of your screen, see all those purples? That's why that's why they have that greatest risk for tornadoes down into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. But as it tracks its way northward, you see those purples and reds go away. However, we still have greens showing up, so we still have that potential for shear. That's winds changing speed and direction with height. But let's come to 15Z. Let's see. I said tonight, didn't I? What day is today? Hold on, I'm off on my days here. Hold on. I got to get back to it. Okay, so I take that back. So not tonight. Not tonight, but I'm talking anytime between, say, 15Z Thursday. Well, let's just go. Well, yeah, we'll go 15Z Thursday. So that's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to be like 10 o'clock Thursday morning through. And then see that little bullseye of yellows and reds and oranges. And so that would be like Fentress County, Cumberland, maybe Scott, maybe Campbell County, Claiborne County, maybe. And then it moves its way into Kentucky and then kind of fades away. So that would be tomorrow morning. And then if you look at Supercell Composite, okay, so now you have the parameters in place. See those oranges and yellows? Tennessee's right where my mouse is. So like Knoxville's like right where my mouse is. So that would be 15Z. So that, yeah, about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So then you got to look at other parameters, like what's going on. Do we have the lift in the atmosphere? Well, we don't. It doesn't look like. If we were to look at precipitation and well, look at that. We don't even necessarily have precipitation that might not be available. So with that said, we have one cell. So do we get like one or two cells that fire up tomorrow that could be tornadic? Maybe. Definitely something to keep an eye on, because as we progress through time, there are a few cells, but we lose that energy. So we have a little bit of a dry slot taking shape before those cells start to fire back up. So I would say tomorrow morning, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Tomorrow morning, probably anytime after 9 o'clock tomorrow morning is going to be our greatest window for maybe some strong thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms. It doesn't mean that we couldn't see some tonight, but you got to realize we lose our daytime heating tonight. So the severe weather potential goes down. So that's why we have that risk for today and tomorrow for much of the area. So hopefully that explains a little bit. I'll probably start doing that a little bit more to give you a little bit more details and in-depth information about what I look at, why I look at certain things, and you got to look at timing. Because even if the parameters show you that, hey, look, tornadoes are possible, but there's no radar showing up on the simulated radar, well, or the atmosphere dries out, or there's so many different things. You got to realize the atmosphere is not two-dimensional, right? And it's so expansive. And so you got to look at all the details and make sure everything kind of lines up to see how it all takes shape. But if that's something you're interested in, we'll probably start doing that in the coming days. Bobby's been missing out on the mornings. He's been working nights and sleeping during the live shots. Well, you got to sleep though a little bit, Bobby. And your work, yes, you got to work when businesses shut down for the day, don't you? That's a tough one for sure. Sierra says, yeah, I'd like you to do that because I'd like to learn a little bit more about weather. Well, we will start doing that then. How about that? I'll have to set things up, and then I'll walk you through. I'll get the map set up correctly on the broadcast so you can see exactly. So the image is bigger. Anyways, right now, if you go back to that, the image is small. But I will definitely start doing that. Brian says, absolutely, for sure, love maps. Barbara says yes. Katrina says yes. Absolutely, says Kat. I'd be interested in seeing for sure. And Tom says that'd be cool, or at least we could learn to go about learning to where to go look for this data. And I'll start doing that. And the National Weather Service uses a lot of probabilities, and they've got a model blend of probabilities. But really, when you look at probabilities, if you blend a bunch of different probabilities together, it gives you a better idea of how the weather is going to play out. Remember, we're talking about something that hasn't happened yet, and so we're trying to give it our best guess. Based on the knowledge and the education that we have, and by being in a location. It's hard to go to a different city, just a random city, and be a good forecaster. You don't know the patterns, you don't know the microclimates, you don't know the evolution of how storms blow through there usually. So it usually takes a good year or two to become a good forecaster in a particular location. One thing else I look at too, I'll highlight this morning. One thing else I look at here is let's see if I can find it. I have it right here. Let's see if I can get it over here to this. Would be this. So let me pull my chat back, or let me pull the maps back up here so you can see what I'm doing. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So I guess that's one. We'll just use that one for now. There we go. All right, so we'll use this. This is called Earl's. What is this called? Earl's. I don't know. Earl's something. Anyways, there's a slew of weather information here. But one thing that I always look at every single day are called SKU-T log Ps, okay? And SKU-T log Ps give you a... let's see if I can get these up. Let's see. There we go. It gives you a three-dimensional aspect of the atmosphere. So I'm going to type in our airport code, which is KTYS. You click submit. Yes, I want to submit that anyways. Is my computer going to let me do it? Oh. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, let's see if you can see that on the screen. You can. So again, I'll get this stuff centered up and worked better, but I got to build it out on the platform. So these are called SKU-T log Ps, okay? So what you're looking at is the atmosphere three-dimensional. So you're looking at a cross-section of the atmosphere. There's a lot going on with all these lines. It gives you pressure, temperature. It gives you a ton of information. The far right part, that circle thing, is called a hodograph, okay? Hodograph lets you know that there's spin in the atmosphere, which direction the winds are coming, how fast the wind is blowing. And the more you get a curve on that, so let me stop this and let's come back to, we'll come back to, let's go to tomorrow, 15Z, like I said. So, okay, so here's tomorrow's 15Z hodograph. So you can see the hodograph on the far right-hand side. You can see that big spin. So from 0 to 1 kilometers in the atmosphere, so you're going up in the atmosphere 1,000 feet, right? 1 kilometer. You're going to get those winds blowing from, relatively calm at the surface to curving and turning. So that's wind shear, winds changing speed and direction with height. and it's curving right there. So another thing I look at is the EHI. The EHI is enhanced helicity values, okay? So what it takes into account, it takes in instability and wind shear at the same time. So CAPE, which is convective available potential energy. CAPE is, the way I explain CAPE, and so CAPE is, see on the far right, it's probably hard to see. Maybe I'll make that full screen so you can see it better. Let's do this. Let's make it full screen so you can see it better. Okay, take me off. So see that little curve. So on the left-hand side of the screen, see how there's 3 lines? There's the far left line, that's your dew point. There's the middle line, that's your temperature. And then there's a far right line. And that far right line, see how it's above or to the right of the middle line? It's to the right of the temperature line. That's CAPE. That's called convective available potential energy. That's the part of the atmosphere that the air parcels will freely rise on their own. They do not need anything to push them up in the air. The way I describe that is if you take a basketball and put it into the deep end of a swimming pool, okay? And if you do that, what's going to happen is that that will freely rise on its own. So if you take that basketball and hold it down there, it's going to stay at the base of it's going to stay at the deep end of the swimming pool, right? But the second you let go, what happens? That basketball is going to shoot to the top of the swimming pool. Why? Because of buoyancy. The basketball is more buoyant than the water that it's in, right? So that's what CAPE is, convective available potential energy. And so once air parcels get to a certain level of the atmosphere, they rise freely on their own like a basketball. That's why in the summertime you'll see those storms shoot up really quickly because that air is freely rising on its own. And the greater that convective available potential energy, or rather CAPE is, the faster those air parcels will rise from the surface to however high those storms will go. And so that's what we need to look at. So you need to look at that. And when you look at your EHI number, that's going to be closer to a 1 or 2. That's good spin. That's good shear in the atmosphere. So if we were to get any storms to fire up, they are in a probable environment to get spin and turn into supercell thunderstorms that could produce tornadoes. Does that all make sense? So there's a lot of things that I can look at. So you got to look at timing, when you have your greatest potential for energy in the atmosphere. Do we have storms available? Is the jet stream in the right position? Is our low-level jet? Remember, we're going to have a windy day tomorrow because our low-level jet's going to be cranking, and that's why we have a high wind warning for the mountains. So that's going to produce perpendicular winds to the mountains. Mountains run northeast, southwest, right? And so if we get a southeasterly flow perpendicular, you get mountain wave events in the mountains, and that's where we get those very windy conditions in the higher elevations, and a lot of that gets translated down to the foothills and sometimes the lower elevations as well. So there we go. A little bit of learning this morning about what I do and how I go about putting together a forecast. You're not supposed to mow until after April 15th. Why is that? Because you got to save your money for taxes? Is that what you're saying? Tanya said that. I have not mowed yet either. She said not supposed to mow until after April 15th, after Easter or April 15th. Well, is there a reason why for that? I did not know that. There's some craft shows going on all weekend long, says Felicia. Let us know where they are, and we'll point people in your direction. Lee, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Lee Watts. She says, LOL, yes, it's crazy. Aren't you glad when you get older, you don't try to fit it in, you just do? Not quite sure what you're saying there. But I'm missing on some of the chat, so I apologize. So the overnight stuff listen, we're under a level 1. I think damaging winds will be the greatest threat. I think if we were to see supercell thunderstorms or tornadoes, that would be likely more tomorrow to late tomorrow morning. So 9 o'clock tomorrow morning through about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Damaging winds and locally heavy rainfall are going to be with us overnight tonight. Tiffany, good morning. Tiffany Givens says, good morning, Mike. Hopefully this rain is gone soon. It will be. And this weekend's going to be picture perfect. It's going to be gorgeous. Patty Spangler says, Patty Spangler Stinnett says, glad you're feeling better. Thank you very much, Patty. Appreciate you. Robert Lawson's, he's late, but he's here. Not sure how much you've seen, Robert, but I'm behind in the chat, so you probably saw quite a bit. Tiffany Givens says, April showers bring those May flowers. And Tiffany, what did those May flowers bring? Hey, by the way, don't forget, you can always turn it on Roku TV. When I went to the doctor's office, by the way, on Tuesday, I guess was that yesterday? That was yesterday. Oh, geez. All the days. When I went to the doctor's office yesterday, I got them to turn on East Tennessee Weather in their waiting room. She's like, yeah, why would we not have this on here? I go, I don't know, but they're going to turn it on. So big shout out to Summit Medical Group, at least the one off of North Shore. Anybody else have a Summit Medical Group connection? Let's see if we can't get all East Tennessee weather platforms in the waiting rooms of Summit Medical Group. That would be amazing. They've got so many different places. And who doesn't want to watch weather while you're sitting there all sick and gross? You don't want to watch HGTV, do you? Nah. Elizabeth Renner just got on. Can you show the tornado parameters again? I can. Now remember, I'm just fumbling around a little bit because I'm not fully set up to do this, but we'll do this. So that's called a skew-T log P. Man, trying to learn those in college was like the hardest thing ever. You used to have to plot them. But a skew-T log P just shows us activity in the atmosphere. It gives you a slice of the atmosphere at a given time, at a particular location too, okay? You got to realize we get this kind of information from the National Weather Service in Nashville, and a lot of the National Weather Services across the country, they actually launch weather balloons that gives us this information twice a day, sometimes more. We don't launch balloons here in East Tennessee. I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe that's a question for the National Weather Service. I think I got the answer a while ago, but I don't know why we don't launch our own balloons here. But Nashville does, and so they'll get information like this. As the balloon goes up in the atmosphere, you get temperatures, pressure, dew points, winds, all the things, right? And so then they plot it onto a graph called the skew-T log P and gives us information about what we can expect. So let's start tomorrow morning. It's 12Z, so 7 o'clock is 12Z in the morning. Or are we at 8 o'clock now? No, we're at 8 o'clock in the morning now. So 12Z is now 8 o'clock. I always get that mixed up. And Z time is Zulu time, by the way. It's a standard of time in meteorology. So when the National Weather Service launches those weather balloons, they launch them all at the exact same time across the country. Say if they picked 12Z, that would be 8 o'clock in the morning here, 7 o'clock in the morning Nashville, 6 o'clock in the morning in Denver, and 5 o'clock in the morning in California. And so they have to launch them at the exact same time. When I go talk to kids, I talk to them a lot about this, say, well, what's the purpose of them launching all the balloons at the exact same time? Well, the purpose is to grab a snapshot of actually what the atmosphere is doing right now across the country. And then all that information goes into those supercomputers and gives us information. Okay, so we've got a pretty saturated atmosphere. Another thing I look at is called precipitable water. And our precipitable water right now is 1.2. Now, these are all forecasts, of course. So you can't take it true to heart. You're going to take it with a grain of salt, if you will. Precipitable water goes down as we progress through the day. As we get into 18Z, so that'd be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where our precipitable water goes down to 0.98. That lets us know that we're losing moisture in the atmosphere, okay? And we have some dry air moving in the mid-levels as well. And so we'll be relatively drier this afternoon, possibly seeing partly cloudy skies, and then the rain's going to start to ramp up. So here is 0Z, so that's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm not expecting a lot of rain by 0Z because we have a lot of dry air. We have to overcome that dry air from the saturated column of air above that dry air. And as that starts to saturate up, then we start to see the rain fall again. Now precipitable waters go back up to 1.3 by 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock here tonight. And now we do have some spin in the atmosphere, but we don't have a lot of instability. And so we need instability to provide us one of the ingredients for providing us severe weather. And we don't really have any instability by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock here tonight. So I think it's just going to be heavy rain overnight tonight. We do have a lot of shear in the atmosphere. See that hodograph on the far right-hand side of your screen? See that hodograph? See how it's spinning And so that's winds changing speed and direction with height. And so sometimes you can get tornadoes without a lot of instability, but it really helps to have that instability in play. So we have a lot of shear. So again, I still think that damaging winds will be the main threat, but I still think you have to have a way to receive weather information tonight as you go off to bed, because we still have that risk from basically after 8 o'clock here tonight through about, say 10 o'clock tomorrow morning is going to be our window for risk for severe storms. But then watch as that column gets, okay, so now watch this. Now we get the instability. See how that line is on the far right-hand side of all three lines? So that dotted line, that lets us know that we have CAPE or convective available potential energy. And we still have some shear in the environment. And then we lose the spin, and it looks like it's going to turn into straight line winds. And so we have some instability tomorrow afternoon, quite a bit of it actually. Our CAPE values tomorrow would be over 1,000 joules per kilogram squared. See if I can get all my math right. 1,000 joules. So CAPE is referenced in joules per kilogram. And so, so we're going to have some instability, but then that all moves on out, and now temperatures fall, and we'll start to see improving conditions. There was one more map I think you wanted to see, and I'll get that for you. And that would have been this tornado potential probability. And if you go to convective, click on the SIGTOR. If we head through the overnight hours, so here's 18C. So we have some spin in the atmosphere. We do know that. There's 0Z. So there's 8 o'clock here tonight. So we have some green showing, okay, we have some tornado potential. But really, I think it's going to be tomorrow that we have the yellows and the oranges show up across places like, Union County, Scott County, Claiborne, maybe parts of northern Knox County. And that's at 15Z tomorrow. So that's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then that moves its way on out. But you've got to also look at, do we have, listen, overnight tonight when those storms are coming through, there is, let's see, we'll come through. There's 0Z. So that's 8 o'clock. It's just going to be some rain. And then we get closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. So there's right there would be 7Z. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 5. It'd be like 3 in the morning. See if I can do my math on the fly. And then, so now we're going to get a little bit of a dry slot. And then some storms start to fire tomorrow. So I think between, say, 9 and noon tomorrow, we'll probably have our greatest threat, and then we could see a couple of storms fire up before this all winds down tomorrow night, and we start to see improving conditions on into our Saturday. So that's kind of how it all plays out. Hopefully you got that. Is it clear as mud? Did you get some information that you wanted? Does it kind of sort of make sense? I mean, listen, this is the kind of stuff. SKU-T-Log-Ps are one of those things where when I've taught or helped train other meteorologists, new meteorologists, that's one thing I tell them all the time is, I know we learn these in college, but use them on a day-to-day basis. Look at it every single day. Even if you don't understand exactly what it all means right away, it'll gradually start to inflow into your brain the knowledge that you need. And the SKU-T-Log-Ps are great because I ask my wife. Every time I've ever bunked a forecast, I mean, when I say bunk, I'm like, hit and miss. I'm being hard on myself here. But anytime I've ever bunked a forecast, it's probably one of those days that I never looked at the SKU-T-Log-P. Cloud coverage, storms, winter weather, huge for winter weather. I mean, when we're talking about the difference between freezing rain, sleet, rain, or snow, the SKU-T-Log-P is going to be like one of your best friends. Because there are different levels in the atmosphere, different pressure levels that you can look at to see what those temperatures would be to give us a better idea if it's going to be sleet or freezing rain, or if it kind of negotiates back and forth, which sometimes it does. So SKU-T-Log-P is great for sure. But you got to look at it every day, and it takes a lot to learn. But if you love to learn, go start learning about SKU-T-Log-Ps. Actually, there's a great website. If anybody wants to learn a little bit more, I'm going to post this on the I'm going to forget the name. Habby Hints. So one of my professors in college, that's not it. Hold on. Designed his own website. And yeah, there we go. It's called theweatherprediction.com. So I'm just going to post this on the chat right now. Let's see. Okay, I'm posting this on the chat right now. Boom. It's there. It's called theweatherprediction.com/Habe Hints. So Habe was Mr. Habe. Professor Habe was my professor. He lives in Colorado now. Actually, I think he's in Arizona now. But anyways, an amazing guy, super smart guy. Designed this website. Check it out. There's a wealth of weather information right there at your fingertips of learning. So if you're part of a What's Your Weather Watcher, go there and just look at some stuff. Whatever you may be interested in, go to Scuti Log Ps. When weather changes, go look on his website and see why it's changing. When you hear me talking about a jet streak or the right front entrance or the left front entrance or the right rear entrance of the jet stream, why does that matter to the weather plane around us? Well, if you're a reader and you're curious about weather, there's a wealth of weather information right there on the screen for you. We've been talking for a long time. It's 7:45 this morning. Lots of folks joining us this morning, so thanks for joining. The Man of Steel on YouTube says, huge fans here, Grant and Z. You guys are awesome. Well, thanks, The Man of Steel on YouTube. I don't know your real name. If you want to pop it on here, hopefully I'll remember it in the coming days if you join every once in a while. But glad you're huge fans. If you don't, do you have the East Tennessee Weather app? That's the question. That's the next question. The Man of Steel. Do you have the East Tennessee Weather app? I hope you do. And remember, if you don't and you're new to the platform, let's just go to the app for a second. This is what it looks like when you open it up. I've got a lot of new tools coming in. You can see that I have watches and warnings turned on. So if you click on that watch, it'll give you the information from the National Weather Service. So we have a high wind warning in effect from 8 p.m. this evening until 4 p.m. Thursday. South winds 40 to 50 miles per hour, but gusting to 75. We're including the Smoky Mountains National Park from Blount County through Cox, Sevier, Southeast Carter, Southeast Greene, Southeast Monroe, and Unicoi counties. Impacts damaging winds could blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult, especially in the high-profile vehicles. Of course, this isn't the highest peaks of the Smokies, but that's the kind of information you can get from there. Plus, your interactive radar shows you past, current, and future radar. There's your past. It pauses at the current, and it takes us into a future, and you can see how these rain showers are going to slowly wind down here in the next short while. I also have Storm Prediction Center information on the app itself. So click on SPC Day 1. You go back to the map. It will show you SPC Day 1 from the Storm Prediction Center. You have SPC Day 2. It shows you SPC, Storm Prediction Center's forecast for the day tomorrow. So you can have those clicked on. You have visible satellite. That's what I was using during the eclipse the other day. I was clicking on the visible satellite imagery. Now, visible satellite imagery is only good once the sun comes up at a certain time. Then you get the sun angles and it will shine in on the clouds. But visible satellite imagery is great for forecasting severe storms and looking to see where we're getting breaks. As a cold front approaches, if we get breaks, we get sunshine, we destabilize the atmosphere, we have a better potential for severe storms. We have temperatures and wind on here. I have your local radars, but you can only get the Futurecast radar if you have it on the national radar. And there's plenty of overlays to check in as well. I've got surface analysis. You can click on Storm Tracks. Storm Tracks are great. Let's see if any are showing up across the country for Storm Tracks. Because you can click on the Storm Tracks, and it might just be for East Tennessee, actually. Let's see here. I don't see any storm tracks on there, but might just be for East Tennessee. But there's our storm at hand down into Louisiana. It is causing a mess down there for sure. So a wealth of weather information, and make sure you have all alerts and make sure you have lightning turned on. If you are ever curious about earthquakes, you can have your earthquakes turned on. I do have that kind of data as well. And so you'll notice, you'll see where there are earthquakes in the country. If there are any earthquakes that are popping up. So again, just a quick tip and trick. Click on the orange T and the white lightning bolt, takes you back to the homepage. And if you're new to the platform, remember, if you just need to get on the go, you don't have time to stick around for Wake Up with Witcher for a whole hour long talking about weather stuff, you can click on your daily forecast updates, and that's where I've updated the forecast at least 3 times a day, sometimes more depending on the weather events if I have time. But check it out every once in a while. All right, so we'll go back to the forecast here for let's just go back to the rain, even though I just showed it to you on the weather app. But the rain right now, continuing to move its way from southwest to northeast. Still some pretty rainy conditions across parts of Blount County, severe. Basically, the I-75 corridor east is still going to be dealing with the rain, but the I-75 corridor to the west should begin to see a drier weather pattern show up here in just a little bit. Oh, you know what we didn't do this morning? And if you're new to the platform, here we go. I missed this the other day, by the way, but let's check in. I have not checked in yet. We're looking at national holidays. It was National Beer Day the other day. You saw me post about that. That's about the time I started feeling a little bit, ugh. All right, so today is National Erase Self-Negativity Day. Ooh, I like that. Erase that self-negativity. How full is your glass? Are you half full or are you half empty? Which one is it? National Library Outreach Day. So this is nice. Go to the library, check out a book, and support our local libraries. National Farm Animals Day. How about that? Anybody own a farm on here? We have National Cinnamon Crescent Day. Crescent Roll Day, maybe? National Cinnamon Crescent Roll Day. Oh, today's National Siblings Day. How about that? So I give a big shout out to my brothers. I could probably do that. I'll get that up here in just a second. I'll get a picture of my brothers up. And then it's National Encourage a Young Writer Day. And in this case, it's National Encourage people who love weather to learn more about Weather Day, too. So got a lot of national holidays today, huh? National Siblings Day. We've got a lot of stuff going on here. Anything good in your life? Did you have any questions here that I've missed on the chat here? Hopefully I haven't missed anything. Today's Wednesday. We'll start doing a Throwback Thursday. So if you ever want to throw up on the chat a Throwback Thursday, we'll start doing a Throwback Thursday. That'd be a lot of fun. Let's try to see if I can find a picture of my brothers quickly. And I don't know if I can. I probably can't, but I'll post that on social media later on today. Tom says, my best weather tool is looking out the window. Funny story, actually. My general manager years back at the TV station, I walked out of the studio. I stood out there. I looked around, kind of felt the air. He goes, what are you doing? I goes, just checking in on the weather. He goes, sweet. So we pay millions of dollars a year for weather equipment, and you're going out and doing it the old school way? Well, yeah, we don't have windows around here. Sometimes you just got to put yourself in the element and say, okay, let's see how it feels. You know? Especially when we're talking severe storms, because dew points play a huge role in the fuel to the fire for severe weather. Do I think it's going to be like last time, says Sierra? Well, last time we had a tornado watch. Last time I was expecting a little bit more activity. We had one basically severe storm that produced a tornado in Sunbright. So do I think it's going to be like that? I can't say one way or the other, Sierra. So unfortunately, I can't. I do think that we have the potential to see it. So if we can get a storm to fire up in that environment, then yes. If we can't get a storm to fire up in that environment, then the answer would be no. But if all we need is one cell, and it's those one cells by themselves that are sometimes the most dangerous cells, because those are the ones that have all the energy available to itself, being selfish, isn't it? So I'll keep you posted on that. Anytime I do severe weather coverage, you'll get a push notification and an alert to let you know that I am live doing severe weather coverage. Another great reason why to have the East Tennessee Weather app. Lee has a Weatherstone. I've got a Weatherstone too, Lee. I do. I have some cool weather. Contraptions back here. Robert says, I'd say East Tennessee weather is pretty challenging because of geography. It is. We have a lot of microclimates. And the orientation of our topography, because it's northeast, southwest from the plateau and the mountains and the valley, and the storms come, from the west typically. So it does play a huge role for sure. The tax collector will see you out mowing. That's why. I like that, Bobby. Good chance for lenticular cloud formation. Anytime we get the air to flow perpendicular over the Smoky Mountains, absolutely. Lenticular clouds are probably my favorite clouds. Those are some of my favorite clouds ever. The other kind of favorite clouds are on the backside of a low-pressure system. You get those fair weather cumulus clouds, like what we had the other day, where it can kind of spit some rain, but not always. They don't have a lot of vertical development. We'll just generally call it partly cloudy. Kind of sometimes call those Simpson clouds, but they're on the backside of a low. Aaron, I've never heard that either. Mowing before 4:15. My yard's been mowed twice already. Yeah, my yard's been mowed once already, but my kid mower is his mower. He's getting a new mower, so I think he's borrowing another mower just to get my yard mowed. Come on, Brannings, let's go. Get that mower fixed, buddy. I'm looking to get yard of the year. Never. I don't care if I get yard of the year. Southern Charms Home says, congratulations, Mike. Why are you saying congratulations, Southern Charm Homes? Why are we saying that? Katrina's got to head off to work. Katrina, hopefully you have a good day. Chicken soup is the cure. I actually had some soup yesterday. It was good. Then my wife made like a salmon like poke bowl. Oh, it was so good. I didn't lose my I did not lose my appetite. I was hungry, but I just didn't feel like eating, but I never really lost my appetite. I was still hungry. Your head hurts now? Bobby says, no, thanks, Mike. My head hurts now. All that weather information that you just gave us. Ben Mooney says, I love the nerdy side of weather. I missed it. If you showed how to view those, the link is right below your link, Bobby. I've posted that, so hopefully you got that on YouTube. It said it went to YouTube. Cheers, the Man of Steel. Big fans of Mike, Grant, and Z. Cheers, man. Cheers to you, my friend. Sure hope you have a great day. And he does have the app. You're the best. The Man of Steel. What's your real name? Is your real name Grant? I'm guessing your real name's Grant, and maybe Z is your wife, or maybe your kids. He says, I do have the app. I only watched you at BIR because of you. We started the mornings with you every day. Glad you're doing well. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to call you Grant until you tell me otherwise. Until you grant me otherwise. Sorry, Grant. I had to do it. Eva says, I don't watch anyone but you. Well, you're sweet. You can. There's lots of other folks here in town that do forecast the weather every day. Dude, we've been almost talking for an hour. Told you I was going to lose my energy. I'm almost out. Oh, it is. It's hump day. Anybody want to do it for me? Hump day. Sierra says, you wish it wouldn't storm. Our storms are cool. Storms are amazing. Weather is amazing. She says, I wish it wouldn't storm. LOL. Kimberly's going to buy me a camel. Perfect. Julie loves the weather class this morning, and Cody's been joining us. Good morning, Cody. He's been working hard on trying to get some cameras for us in Scott County. He's also been working hard on some designs for East Tennessee weather for the Witchers Weather Watchers. So lots of... Sierra says, I don't like naders. Okay, Sierra, I'm going to tell you this one more time. I kid. I'm not trying to be mean. Listen. Where do you live, Sierra? Where do you live? Let me ask you that question. Post that on the chat. I want to know where you live. So once you post that on the chat, I'll explain why here in a second. Okay? So let me know where you live, and I'll explain why I'm asking this. You live in Athens. Oh, okay. Never mind. You probably don't like naders. The reason why I said that is because... Oh, you can't see it there. Let's see. Is because of this map right here. Now, generally speaking, naders are relatively infrequent here in East Tennessee. Do we have more tornado warnings than we ever have tornadoes? Absolutely. But Sierra joins us from Athens. What county is Athens in? McMinn County. McMinn County has seen 25 tornadoes since 1950. One of the top tornado-producing counties here in East Tennessee. So, Sierra, I digress with what I said. You don't like naders. I don't like naders. Nobody likes naders. They're cool from far, but far from cool, right? And so it totally makes sense now. You do get a lot more tornadoes in McMinn County, but you got to realize you've only had 25 since 1950. So we're like talking, what, 75 years almost? So still relatively infrequent over 75 years, but that gives you what? About 3 per, what is that? About 3 per 25 years? No, 3 per year. Did I do my math right? 25, yeah. No. Did I do my math right? No, I didn't do my math. Somebody do the math on that. Cody, it was the right number. He says, was that the right number I texted everything to? Yes, it was. Don't be sorry, Sierra. I understand. You do get more tornadoes in McMinn County. Tammy just now joined, and Tammy, the program's ending. It's 8 o'clock. We've been talking for a whole whopping hour this morning. We've dived into the details of how weather works, what we can expect. So let me send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. We had a good morning here this morning, Tammy. I'm sorry that you're just now joining. We always have tomorrow, Tammy. We always have tomorrow. Hey, listen, if you like what you see, if you love the East Tennessee Weather app, I would love for you to share with everybody around East Tennessee your love for the love of East Tennessee weather. Listen, the app has blown up. Everybody seems to be downloading it, and I am so grateful for all of you for sharing it with everybody, because I'm only one person. I can only share so much. And not everybody sees me on social media, and not everybody comes to social media every single day. I may have a lot of followers on Facebook, but not everyone comes to Facebook every single day. And so, pass along the word if you love what you see and you love what you like. Just one more time. I remember this morning's Wake Up with the Witcher was sponsored by Volunteer Home Mortgage. Volunteer Home Mortgage is a locally owned and operated mortgage broker company serving all of East Tennessee, but they don't stop there. They actually serve Georgia and Florida as well. If you're looking for another home, a vacation home, great vacation places as well. As a mortgage broker, they offer a variety of mortgage programs to visit your unique and personal mortgage needs. Now, they offer free consultations, and their loan officers are available 7 days a week. So give Jerry and her team a call today, or any day you want to, at 865-238-7500, or visit them online at volunteerhomemortgage.com. All right, my friends, we sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. Let's send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. For those of you that may have missed the forecast, I will start it from the top. We'll go straight to the show open and then straight back out to me. Remember, I do update this channel throughout the day. It's not live, per se, unless I'm live doing severe weather coverage. All right, if you ever have any questions, concerns, comments, fire away. Send me an email through social media. Go to my website. But again, either way you look at it, enjoy the day. It's going to be pleasant. Temperatures topping out in the low to mid 70s. The rain comes to an end, but the possibility of severe weather does exist tonight and for the first part of our day tomorrow for the most part. And then we'll wind down and see a beautiful weekend. All those details and much more coming up with the 24-hour weather channel right now. See you back here for Wake Up with Witcher, 7 o'clock on our Thursday morning.
You're watching East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.
Good morning. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. We're halfway through the work week and more rain is on the way. Now, we start the morning off with some scattered rain showers, but they shouldn't last all day long. However, with that said, we're talking about more rounds of rain to head our way. Why? Well, we got a big trough in our jet stream, big trough of low pressure that's going to be swinging its way into the area. That's going to produce the chance for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, the trough is off to our west right now, but as it approaches the area, that's going to provide extra lift in the atmosphere. And because of that, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a risk for severe storms. Now, the red is the bullseye down into parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, southern Alabama. But up into Tennessee, we have a level 1 risk. This runs over a 24-hour period. So today through tomorrow morning, we are under a level 1 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms here locally. And from tomorrow morning, which is going to be the main threat, through Friday morning as things start to wind down, that severe weather risk shifts off to our east. So here's what it looks like in the big picture. Big old area of low pressure spinning out of Texas. That's going to produce a lot of rain and the chance for severe storms around much of the region here over the next 24 to 36 hours, or really 48 hours anyways, as this shifts off to the east. we'll see severe weather breaking out across the Carolinas as well. So that's the storm system at hand, and that's what's going to bring us the showers and thunderstorms and the main severe weather threat overnight tonight. Damaging wind will be the main threat, though. So your forecast ahead of us today, we're going to be on the warm side. Again, most of the rain that we're having this morning will shut down. Temperatures will top out in the low to mid 70s. And even into the evening hours, it's going to be nice and mild. We're going to be in the upper 60s by 10 o'clock tonight. So let's bring it to the local level. Let's start you off at 7 o'clock here this morning. And again, we've got some scattered light rain showers hanging out with us for the morning rush hour. By noon, maybe a few spotty showers. As the kids head home from school, I think we're going to be dry, and it's going to be on the warm side. Now, just like the other day, depending on how much rainfall we actually see this morning, really depends on how warm those temperatures get. But it does look like highs will be in the low to mid 70s anyways. By 6 o'clock tonight, most of us will be rain-free, but that rain is going to be knocking on our back door. So, locally, we have that level 1 risk for severe storms today and tonight. Obviously, not much going on throughout the day today, but this runs until Thursday morning, until 7 o'clock in the morning. So watch this. Here comes the storm. Storms are going to race their way on into the area. So after dinner time, bedtime, very heavy rainfall and the possibility of severe storms as we get into the overnight hours. By sunrise in the morning commute on Thursday, we'll likely have some heavier showers up and down the I-81 corridor, 75, 70, 40, not 70, but 40, and the mountain counties. So that's really how it's going to be playing out. The heaviest rain and the strongest thunderstorms are going to be with us while we're sleeping overnight tonight. But Thursday and Friday, we're also under a level 1 risk for severe storms. So as this whole system starts to wind itself down, we'll start to see conditions improve, but we do have that chance for a few isolated strong thunderstorms. Notice a huge southerly flow out ahead of the cold front. Cold front's going to come through as we get into our Thursday and Friday time frame. That's going to help to cool our temperatures down on Friday because that trough swings through, the trough that's off to our west, and that's going to bring in a pool of cool air. But look at the rainfall. So forecast rainfall through 7 o'clock Thursday night. The heaviest rain is going to be across the Southern Valley, lighter rain across upper East Tennessee, but the Plateau, Southern Valley, and the Western Valley is going to get the heaviest rainfall. So that could lead to some localized flooding. The Weather Prediction Center has put us under a level 1 and a level 2 risk for localized flooding or flash flooding. So if you get rounds and rounds of rain or, well, you have the more of a potential for seeing some flooding concerns. So 3-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures stay right there in the 60s on Friday. Friday's going to be the coolest day. Saturday, we're back into the low 70s. Sunday, we're back into the 80s, and I think we'll stay in the 80s as we get into our Monday and Tuesday time frame. So a nice little warming trend is on the way, and really not too terribly bad. Low temperatures aren't bad either. We're not going to be below freezing, maybe a little bit below average on Saturday, about 45 degrees. Can't go wrong with that. So highlighting this weekend because it's right around the corner. It's going to be gorgeous, sunny skies and warmer temperatures. Great weekend to start thinking about getting the boat out on the water. We're getting close, my friends. And when you look ahead from April 16th through April 20th, we are trending possibly above average, and we may be trending above average when it comes to temperatures all the way through the 24th. So if you get a chance, or if you haven't done so yet, download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's 100% free. Just go to the Google Play Store or the App Store today and search East TN Weather, all one word. You get your interactive radar, 7-day forecast. You get push notifications if severe weather is approaching, if warnings are there as well. So definitely something to check in every once in a while. And again, it's all weather all the time for East Tennessee weather, for our weather here in East Tennessee, but it also travels wherever you go. So we sure hope you have a great Wednesday. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you back here real soon.